Welcome back. One of the biggest challenges for conservationists is to find a way to marry the needs of animals and their habitat with those of the people who live nearby. Poaching and logging are lucrative, but they're short-sighted. Well, there's a man in San Francisco who has a new vision. He's found a way to not only protect Africa's wildlife, but also to create sustainable communities at the same time.
Simba wa Yuda anatuwazia mema, 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 Simba wa Yuda anatuwazia mema.
An experiment in environmentalism, economics, even architecture, in a laboratory called Kenya. How to find a place for animals and a better future for the people who live in their midst. How to prove that wildlife works. For decades, wild animals have been disappearing from the Kenyan landscape. The elephant population alone dropped by more than 80% as poachers hunted them for ivory. Other animals were killed for their meat or chased from the bush to make way for new settlements. In a poor nation, people have few comparable ways to get by.
Our offer to them was, we think we can bring jobs into your community using the wildlife as an asset. If that's okay, that's what we're going to do first. That's all.
Mike Korchinski was a California management consultant and a millionaire by the time he was 33. He went to Africa and found his future.
You know, my epiphany came in sort of stages. The first stage was just how awe-inspiring being in the presence of elephants and giraffes and all the things I'd read about as a kid was in their natural habitat. And then the second stage was how sad it was to see how fragile they were.
Korchinski wondered what he could do. He decided to try to match people's needs with the environment's needs. First, he purchased a massive game sanctuary. Then his company, Wildlife Works, built a clothing factory inside the sanctuary, providing desperately needed jobs for the Kenyans who live nearby. People's needs met, along with those of the environment. And Western consumers support the project by buying designer T-shirts with an environmental theme. It's an innovative business based in the San Francisco area. It's not a charity. It does aim to make a profit, but it also aims for change, thousands of kilometers away.
We've lived with wildlife. Some of us knew their value, but some didn't. But once Wildlife Works came, we've now cooperated with them, and we've been educated and have come to love the animals and recognize their value to us.
The Rukinga Sanctuary stretches for almost 27,000 hectares, forming a vital corridor between two national parks. The factory was built there literally from the ground up, using rammed earth, an ancient, environmentally friendly technique that's being rediscovered in the 21st century.
The walls you get are, by the end of the day, when you've finished one 8-foot-high wall, it's rock. The walls will stand for 1,000 years, as they have in many, or longer, as they have in many parts of the world.
Wildlife Works didn't just build the factory, it trained women to sew clothing that would meet fashion industry standards.
Getting a job for me is very important. I'm the only one working. I have a husband, I have 2 children, and my husband is not working, so they depend on me.
The company also put men to work guarding the sanctuary against poachers and building schools for the children to meet another local need.
We built a new classroom block behind here, which has a very large roof area, and we thought it a great way of collecting water for the community. So what we're actually standing on here is a 65,000-litre water tank, and this water basically looks after the 420 students in the school. Before we had this water tank here, they had to walk 7 kilometers or 5 miles every day with 20-litre containers on their head or on a cart or on their bicycle to get water, which is a terrible waste of time, waste of their energy. Water in Dume, Kubo.
Rob Dodson oversees the wildlife and construction aspects of the project, winning the trust of the community, convincing them that by protecting the trees and animals, they are providing for themselves. But it hasn't been easy.
It's difficult at times. We cannot employ every charcoal burner or a bushmeat poacher. We can employ a lot of their family and other people in their community, but sometimes it's very difficult for these people, if that's been their career forever, to try and make those sort of people change.
But the factory works. The T-shirts sell, and poachers' traps have nearly disappeared from the sanctuary. The business needs to keep growing, but if it does, the entire system will be self-sustaining and self-perpetuating. Korchinski hopes to put his Kenyan model to work in other places as well.
I just see this problem everywhere in the world, and it's such a big problem that the legacy I would like to leave is having created a new model for how to solve this problem, a new model for how you can balance the needs of wildlife and people and find a solution that benefits both.
A wild idea. Join us again next time for more Global Challenges. I'm Jonathan Mann.